Kidding. Sorry, not live. All right, everybody,
Yeah.
welcome back to the channel. I am here with Orren to talk about decrops today. And Orren was kind enough to reach out to me to walk me through all of the cool stuff in development that has been happening in beta. So, Orren, thank you for that. And first off, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit, what your decrops journey has been like. We were before I hit the record button, so feel free to continue where that conversation was.
Yeah. Like I started like I forgot how long ago it was. It 6 9 months ago. I forgot how long it was when you put your first decrops video up. But I was watching your videos for Splitterlands, and you put a decrops video up,
Mhm.
and then I checked out decrops, and I think we had the exact same reaction where it seemed just almost too simplistic at the time. Because like
Yeah,
I looked at it, and it was like there was like one land and four legendary crops, and just not much going on.
it was just a
And
couple of
so
alpha seeds. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I came back later when beta sort of kicked in, when they added, all the buildings and the blueprints and stuff, and it's much more interesting. And the other thing is, like, when they added the addition of the events is what got me back in hardcore, was like the Halloween event,
Yeah,
because it almost made it like turned decrops from just, you click once a week to something interesting to do. And
agreed.
so
Yeah.
that's what got me back
But
rolling
it's
into
something.
decrop.
Yeah, it's something to just like work towards the entire month. And you're just like, well, I'm gonna get all this extra stuff just for playing the game. Where do I spend it? Right? Like you can actually get stuff
Hmm.
worth value or to help your collection and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've been a really big fan of that, and I hope Script Kitty, the developer on the game, will continue to do that throughout the
Oh
year
yeah.
because we had one for Thanksgiving or fall or sorry, Halloween, and then we had one for like the Christmas and New Year's
Mhm.
holiday. So
Him and I have been chatting on Discord a fair amount, and he mentioned he was thinking that the next one might be Easter, and I was
okay.
trying to talk him into doing like a 2 week Valentine's Day one that ran from like the
Hmm.
14th to the 28th, but he seemed like he had plans for that time period. So, you know, but he
Okay,
definitely did.
fair enough.
He's giving me the
Yeah,
impression that
yeah. I mean,
periodic events are coming. So like, Easter, like I suggested an Arbor Day one for doing something with trees and just random stuff. So I mean, like I'm
mhm.
hoping I think he also does much better selling packs during events. So because he gives
Yeah.
a discount and there's extra motivation to buy the packs.
Well, it definitely makes sense. I mean, there's extra motivation and move stuff, and right now it's still difficult to get into the game, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
So being able having any kind of incentive to go in and do something in that way, I think would be ideal. So to have those throughout the year, whatever holidays they end up being around are going to be great.
So
So
one thing that
you oh go
go ahead.
ahead, sir.
I was gonna say one thing that I
No,
think
I think
might be.
we're
Okay, we start talking at each
we're
other.
struggling with we're struggling with a delay here, so hopefully we'll be able
Oh
to edit some of
yeah,
this out. But if
yeah,
not,
I got you.
for people, yeah, we're struggling with a little bit of a delay here. But Oren, please go ahead. Don't let me cut you off this time.
Oh, I got you. I was gonna say that one thing that I think is a little weird right now is because lands aren't in the beta packs. I think that might make it a little harder for new people because they have to actually get. I mean, like there's a legendary land in the beta packs, but that's it. And your odds
Hmm.
are like, I forgot what the odds are. You have to open like 1,800 packs to get one or something. It's bad. Or I'm not
Hmm.
1,800 packs, 600 packs. It's like it's 1% chance for a legendary for a card, and there's I forgot how many legendary cards, but there's a decent amount. You're probably
Yeah,
not going to open one, and
true,
so
true.
like the new players have to interact with the market to get lands so they can start planting crops, and that's a little weird for right now. But the good thing is
Hmm.
it's pretty cheap. I mean, like there's an abundance of lands on the market for the normal lands.
Yeah, if you're willing to go for common or rare lands, I would say that those are decently priced if you want to just have a entry point into the game and then start playing the game and collecting rewards and then funneling those rewards back in. But the legendary lands are expensive. I'll admit that because
Yeah.
I've been wanting one just in case I decide to go for a tree, and at this point, it seems a little difficult.
They before before the event started, the high tech lands were around 100 to 120, 140 hive, and they
Mm,
are more than that since the event started. I
yeah,
think the
I
cheapest
can
one I
imagine
saw
so.
recently was like 240, and so yeah,
Gotcha. Well, we'll be able to pull it up in a little bit and
yeah.
check. So you got back into the game, especially over the last couple of months with these events.
Mhm,
I know you have some notes there, and the whole point that of you reaching out, which again I appreciate, um, is to help walk us through what the big innovations are with beta. We have construction, we have crafting, we have cooking, and
mhm.
so
Cooking's not
however you
live
want to
yet though.
navigate that. Or
Okay,
sorry, but on
actually,
the roadmap, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Actually, I think it's supposed to be relatively soon, but I don't know. Like I haven't heard any specific dates about it, but like not super far away. You
Hmm.
know. Well, I tell you, what, maybe the easiest thing to do is why don't you open up your why don't you open up your decrops and we can just sort of start maybe start at the play option in the middle top, and we can just
Yep.
walk through that.
Let's do
And
it.
then if you want, what we can do is I can show you some of the differences because like I will have options. I may have options that you don't have because I have certain buildings.
Okay.
So
So I don't have anything yet. So any kind of walkthrough would be appreciated.
gotcha. Okay. So I guess first of all is the quest page, right?
Hmm.
Um, one thing that I don't know if people have thought about or done or whatever, or if they have my level of impatience sometimes. If you're willing to waste a decent number, if you're willing to waste maybe, I don't know, 15 or 20 rerolls, if you need to, you can complete your quest the first day of a season. And
Mm.
all you do is you roll till you get only plants,
Yep.
and then you just plant specifically, and then you can get your reward chest if you happen to need resources urgently. And so, I mean, like that's not. It's like you spend, maybe 200 crop to do it.
Yeah.
And one thing I was doing before the events was I was not selling all of my crops every season. I was just basically
Hmm.
letting them sit there. And that was another way to quickly complete quests because if you get one of the like, sell 2-star cabbages, if you have a cabbage from before, you just sell it and you complete that part of the quest as well.
Hmm.
And so you can knock the quest out really quick.
Knock out a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, the leaderboard has to do with how many how many what the shares are people have sold so far. Like
Hmm.
I'm actually down there at number 10 right now.
Ooh,
Um,
let's go.
I am not well. This is going to change a lot as the season goes along because if you've watched the ratios in general, by the end you're getting something like 3/4 of your shares in crop usually. If
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like right
Towards the later
now,
part of the season.
yeah, like right now it says I have 26. I have 2,600 crop.
Shares.
I have 2,600 shares, so I would probably get like 2,100 crop from that at the end of the season, if that was that was how things ended.
Okay.
Like the guy at the top has like a maybe
60,000.
2.5. Yeah, he's got actually he's got a lot more than that, doesn't he? So like his will again it'll drop to probably like for what he has now he'd probably get like 4,500 crop.
So
And
what was the ratio you said about one third?
it's this is like a rough kind of like
Rough
back of the
estimate. Okay.
napkin thing. But generally it seems to be about a quarter. Like it'll be a quarter. It'll be 75% of what your shares are. So
Hmm.
like if you have 10,000 shares, you'll get 7,500 crop usually in that range.
Gotcha.
Might
Okay.
be 7,000, might be 8,000. And again, like the events, the events get kind of weird because people will dump all their extra stuff for the candies or
The
the
candy, the
treats or
candy
whatever.
canes. Yeah.
Yeah, like the candy canes are before the I forgot what the Halloween one was. More candy, I guess.
I think
I
it was just
guess.
candies and then candy
Yeah,
canes that we had. Yeah.
yeah. And the holding rewards are how much. basically it's your crop power, kind of like
Mhm.
your CP from Splinterland.
Yep.
One thing that they do differently that is worth noting is they do a 15-day average.
Yeah, I love that actually.
So like if like for example, I bought some more packs just a few days ago at the end, to take
This is where
advantage of
you're
the
at.
sale and everything.
Mhm.
And also Hive went up like 20% or something. And
Yeah.
I was sitting on a bunch of Hive and I was like, well, it seems like I have to buy packs. So I bought some packs.
Nice. There you
Uh,
go.
but
All
um
right.
but yeah, like so it takes 15 days for that to kick for that to be fully calculated in.
Yep.
And
Okay.
so and another thing that you should note is like there is a giant difference between me and number one.
Yeah, see you
I've
in
talked to
Lum
that guy.
is
Yeah, I've talked to him on Discord. He said he gets like 800 items in his quest chests. He
wow.
is raking it in, and because like there was a point where him and I were discussing. This is getting a little ahead of things, but one of the things you can build is a fridge or a refrigerator, right?
Mhm.
And I hate it. I hate the refrigerator passionately because it's
Why?
the only way to get ice, and
Okay.
and I haven't found any way to adjust it so you can get 3-star ice more easily. You're stuck with the random chance of 1% 3-star ice. And
Okay.
so if you want to make a 3-star recipe that's all 3 stars, and you need 3-star ice, you're gonna be running your fridge
You be
for
out
a
of
long
luck.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
And his suggestion was build a ton of fridges on like common land on the common lands
Mhm.
and just let them run and pay the gas for it. And that's not something that's really practical for anyone else because his level of resources is like he like the well we'll get to it in a minute, but the level of resources involved in building any of the machines
Mhm.
is costly. Like and the only way you could do his plan is if you were just deep in the resources
Yeah.
and like I
Well,
mean like I mean
he's getting a significant amount of those resources that are minted every season.
yeah. And I'm also because it's a holding, you get a part of their daily hive drop,
Mhm.
and I think I'm getting about 4 a day right now. I would guess that See You in Lum is getting maybe 6 times mine, would be my guess.
Yeah. He's like
So,
five times a day, so yeah, maybe like 20.
yeah. Yeah, he's probably getting 20, he's probably getting at least 20, maybe more than that. And,
Mhm.
so anyway, it's just like what I've been doing is I've just been basically using that hive to power up my hive power, and I've just
Okay.
been dumping it into the hive power and just letting it sit there.
I
This is
usually put that into crop, or I'll usually like put it into Hive Engine, convert it to crop, and then put it into the game to compound the CP or the crop power.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
then I'll dip into that, like if there's ever like a crop that I don't have, or if I need another land, I'll use that pile of crop to start building out the rest of my deck.
Yeah, I ran into a weird problem that I did not expect. I ended up using up my hive power in decrops, like fresh
How?
from 100% to zero. It
Oh
was like
wow.
I was planting a bunch of stuff, and It was like the start of season, and I was planting and harvesting and clearing out the old crops and buying stuff from the event and all this other stuff, and it just zoop, killed all my hive power. And it's like I guess I need
Yeah.
to power up a little bit.
Oh, that makes sense then. It's good use of that. It's nice to just get something for holding in-game assets.
Yeah.
So
It's it seems weird and counterintuitive to not open booster packs though, if that
it
makes sense.
does. It does. Yeah. I mean, I was just stacking beta packs whenever I would see them dip on the secondary market because I'm like, oh well, it's actually cheaper than holding like it's cheaper than holding 2,000 crop, right?
Mhm.
If buying one of those was less than 2,000 crop, I would just buy one of those and hang on to it.
Yeah. Well, like the
So
thing is, it's like I think a legendary card. I think a legendary card counts as 50 crop power, and a pack
mhm.
counts as 2,000 crop power.
Yeah, it's insane the
So
difference.
I mean, like, just I think anyone who wants to play decrops, you should just sort of expect to allocate something to just having packs sit there.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I don't exactly understand it but it's it's an aspect of the game, I guess. It's a little
It
weird.
it keeps a little scarcity there. I agree. It's I agree. I'm not sure why it's the case, but I don't mind holding packs because again,
Yeah,
at some point, because I bought when I first got involved, I bought a bunch of alpha packs off the secondary market, but then I realized I'm like, wait, I get so much more value holding the packs rather than opening them up because I was
yeah,
super excited.
yeah,
Excuse me, I was super excited to open them up and start playing, but then I was like, wait, let me just hold the packs. I'll take the hive that I get from holding them and then just use that to buy cards every day.
yeah. I wish I'd had that realization before I opened a certain number of packs. Because like I did the same thing. I bought some alpha packs on the secondary market, and then I busted them, and then it occurred to me that I should also be saving them. And so
Yeah,
it's like, oh well.
it's all good. All right, should we move
All
on to
right,
the farm?
yeah. Let's move on to the farm. Okay, so this farm you have the farm, as you can see, you have the epic, the rare, and the common lands, right?
Yep.
And have you been using boosters on your lands?
I do. What happened to this? I do. I don't go out and buy them, but since I get a good amount
Yeah,
in my reward chest, I have
yeah,
been using them. The speed grow and well, there's nothing on there now, but
yeah.
speed grow and the 30 plus. I'll use them
All right.
whenever I can.
Well, there are a couple of interesting things about the boosters that I like. One of the things that I didn't know, and this actually I found this out when I did a swap with somebody for a land. If you have a land that has boosters on it, when you swap the land, the boosters go with it.
So they just loaded up land with a bunch of boosters and then sold it.
Yeah. Well, actually, what happened was, um, I think the guy that I did the trade with, I was the CU and Lum guy, and so
Okay.
I suspect he just whenever he gets a land, he like clicks 50 times and
Yeah.
doesn't ever
Okay.
look back. But
That makes
like
sense.
I swapped a land with him, and it came over with like 50 speed grows and 50 fertilizer ones, and it was weird that it carried over, but it's good to know.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Um, so like if you want to, you can stack them up. The other thing is, I mean, like this part's probably obvious, but like the boosters are better on the better lands
Hmm.
because like one booster will boost 3 crops on an awesome land where it'll only
Yeah.
boost one on an average. And
Yeah,
so
it makes me want to get more of the awesome and fertile ones if I can.
yeah, the 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 cost is weird also right now. I think I haven't sat down and done the math yet whether you should buy alpha packs and bust them to try and get like awesome fertile or average land, or you should just buy it from the
Hmm.
market. But it's one of those things like it might be worth crunching some numbers for to see if you're serious
Yeah.
about wanting to pick up lands because they're what, eight hive at the moment
Yeah.
and
Well,
23.
yeah, 8 high for fertile and then 20, well, I'll just say 24 for awesome land,
Yeah,
23.8.
yeah, that feels like it's a little expensive for what it should be. I
Hmm.
want to say that, I mean, like obviously the high tech land is way expensive for what it used to be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping those are going to come down, but I think it's one of those things where we need one of the whales, and I'm very much not a whale in that alpha area, to bust a bunch of packs and
And sell
a
them.
bunch of land needs to end up on the market.
Well, there's 455 in circulation and only 11 of them on the market. So
Hmm.
there's not much liquidity there.
One thing that kind of concerns me is, uh, once again, I started to look at the math for this last night when
Hmm.
when we were talking about when we were talking about doing this, and I didn't get around to actually crunching the numbers, but I don't know for sure if there's enough land to support all the trees,
Oh, interesting.
and I'm not sure. I mean, like I gotta.
Because it's only legendary land, right? That
It's
can.
only legendary land, and the problem you run into is you need legendary land. Like in beta, there's 4 tree seeds, and there's one legendary land. So already there's not enough. If you figure even distribution, the lands from beta don't cover the trees in beta. So you have a deficit
Yeah.
of one set of trees already. And you also have the problem of the there's a third as many alpha cards as beta cards.
Yeah.
but there's less legendaries, and it gets a little weird in there. But the other thing
Also, you
is,
you
like,
you can turn them into plots, right?
yeah, that's the other problem is, like, you turn them into plots and they're used to build the equipment, like they're used for the blueprints. And we can talk about that in a minute, but like
Yeah.
the blueprints are killing the plots is the problem. And I'm like, you can use average, fertile, or awesome plots for the blueprints,
Mhm.
but for anyone that's not CU and Lum, I think it's a mistake to do that. I think it's just not cost effective in the long run.
To
And I can
use these, okay.
Yeah, I can explain in more detail when we get to the actual crafting part if you want.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go back to the play here.
Okay, so for the farming, for the actual farm part, um, I don't know. There's not really that much to say about it except in the it, I farm differently during events than I do not during events. In events, I like during the two events so far, I've been using all of my speed boosters all the time,
Mhm.
and I've been basically churning through the fastest growing crops first.
Okay.
And so, like, what happened to me last season is I ended up with a bunch of, oh, what were they? The watermelons, I think, are the 12-day ones.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like at the end with like 5 season, I just planted. I burned through all my other seeds and I burned through all my mystery seeds, and so I just planted watermelons. And I figured that I would get the planting bonus, but not.
Yeah, you get the candy canes, but not the actual crop from it.
Yeah, yeah, and also you don't get the candy canes for harvesting or selling them, but
Yeah,
you do get it at least for planting.
for planting it.
And
Mhm.
so it's just a little. I mean, like it's one of those things like, it's a little bit extra, but it doesn't really matter that much.
True, yeah.
Um, the rest of it is have you noticed the thing about the refresh rate for the lands for the seeds that can be planted in 2 seasons?
Yeah, as you can see here, I have 2 corn, but I only have 1 corn seed.
Yeah,
So, that's actually something I didn't know right off the bat, but, I discovered it, maybe the last couple seasons or so, where
yeah.
I just left my corn and then I realized I didn't have to free the plot, which is
Yeah,
really nice.
that is one thing that's really nice. And I think there's the corn, and then there's the epics that also do it. I think
Mhm, yeah.
there's a couple. There's maybe eight
There's
seeds that you can do it,
yeah, there's a couple of
and
them
like
that you can do it.
sunflowers.
Mhm.
Because like what you do is you basically get 3 seasons worth of growth from one seed,
Yeah.
because you plant it the first season and then you can replant the seed, so you have a double the second season, and
Mhm.
it helps a little, especially with those stupid sunflowers that are just the bane of everyone's existence. Because
I don't think I actually have any of those, but yeah.
sunflowers are the only source of oil at the moment,
Oh, interesting.
and
Okay.
and the oil appears in a lot of recipes right now. So
So there's a bottleneck there.
yeah, there's very much a bottleneck, and there don't seem to be a lot of sunflowers floating around.
Good to know. Okay, we'll have to crack some beta
Uh,
packs.
let's see. The next one is your inventory,
Mhm.
and Script Kiddie recently redid this and made it just beautiful
Yeah,
from what it used to be.
it looks great.
One word of warning that I would mention that I did early on is be careful for the sell everything, like the sell all 1 star, sell all 2 star buttons, because
Mhm.
it won't just sell all of your crops. It'll also sell like all of your salt and your pepper and
Yep.
your other stuff.
Yep,
Because
realized that last season.
I did the exact same thing. I hit sell all 1 star, and then it wiped out. I think some. I wiped out something that I needed. I think it wiped out hot peppers, which were another one of those things that I needed to keep.
Mhm.
Anyway, so that's the main thing about that. Except for the amazing upgrade for that page, that's really all for that page.
Okay.
Um,
So where are we going next?
maybe
There's I
items.
Oh, yeah, let's do items. Okay.
Okay. Don't really have any items there.
No
You've
chest,
opened all your chests
yeah,
and you
here's
have
the
some underground
items.
stuff. One thing that I've done in previous I did this in the Halloween event, and I didn't do it so much in this Christmas event. Is I started, because of the way the seasons fell in Halloween, I started by burning all of my mystery seeds.
Oh, okay, so you
And
just don't hang on to any of them then, huh?
And well, what I did was I figured the mystery seeds. I put like speed grows on everything, and then I planted all the mystery seeds on the speed grows on things with
Mhm.
speed grow, and so that way I would definitely clear out the mystery seeds in time to plant my normal seeds.
Okay.
And that also gave me the chance of randomly hitting like a legendary seed out of the mystery seeds.
So I have been doing that. Probably not. Obviously I didn't clear out everything, but I've been doing a lot more mystery seeds. The only thing that I'll check is like if I have like pumpkins or something that's like really long. I'll like let me make sure that I put this in first, and
Hmm.
then everything else I do mystery seeds just because I want to make sure that I'm maximizing that or
Yeah,
getting a
yeah.
chance for a higher seed or something.
Well,
Or
that's
better yet is like actually what I do is before I start tampering with all of the re-rolls on my quest, I'll just throw a bunch of mystery seeds and see if I can hit any, right? Just
ah.
and then I will go through and start re-rolling whatever I need to re-roll.
I saw on Discord people mentioning that they got jack o' lanterns out of mystery seeds, but I don't know if
Oh
that
wow.
got fixed or not. But I haven't gotten a jack o' lantern out of a mystery seed, but you know,
Yeah.
apparently it happened at least briefly.
Well,
But I
it's
don't
I
know if they
mean,
fixed it.
but the thing is it's not ongoing, is it?
I do not know. I know
Okay.
that there was also a point where jack o' lanterns were showing up in the quests, like plant three jack o' lanterns,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
which well, technically is impossible because there's only one jack o' lantern in existence right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, then I wouldn't be there. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. All right.
Um,
Collect items.
let's see. So we looked at the items. For the speed grow and the Ferta Plus thing, if you're doing it, I would just say if you have them, dump them on the highest plot land you have all the time, and
Mhm.
then maybe mess with the other ones if you have an abundance. But if not, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Like I don't use them at all on the common lands.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I
And
think, like I said, I'm gonna try to start getting probably more of those fertile lands,
mhm,
and that'll make more sense because they'll essentially double the value of these.
mhm, yeah. Let's see. The next one is crafting. Actually, maybe the next step should be to go to the
Workshop or
workshop. Yeah.
construction.
I think workshop probably. Okay.
All right.
The
I've I've
workshop.
I've looked around here, but I haven't done anything. So let me
Okay.
know.
So here's the deal with the workshop. This is where you get you build you basically transform the raw resources you get from your chests into usable resources to build the better buildings.
Hmm.
So by default, actually go to construction two, one down.
This one. Yep.
Yeah. So if you look, the furnace, the kiln, and the sawmill on the left hand side under equipment,
Hmm.
those three can all be built using the raw resources. And
Okay.
these are the main processors that will get you the planks, the ingots, charcoal, that kind of thing. And so when you build these, if you look in the middle where it says select plot, it'll give you the options. You can just click there, and it should
Mm-hmm.
give you a pull down thing. And like you can craft, you don't want to craft it, but I mean, like theoretically, you could craft it using average farmland. Um, and again, the bonuses get better. Like right now, for an average farmland, there's no bonuses. But
Okay.
if you look at, is there a way? Let me see. Is there a way I can show my screen and I can show you one of
Yeah.
mine?
Yeah. Go ahead. There should be a present option or share.
Present. Here we go. Okay. So present, share screen. So let's see if we can do this. So
Sweet.
can you
Okay. Cool.
still? So I can no longer see the thing, but can you see my screen?
I can see your screen and I can see you, so we're good.
Okay. So if you go to play and you go down to construction and you select, actually, I don't know if it's going to let me, if it's going to really show them or not. Uh, okay. Well, anyway, this will show you the bonuses anyway. I don't have any high tech plots.
Okay. Gotcha.
But see, okay. So here are the perks. If you build your blueprint on a high tech plot, you have a 10% chance for a special ability to trigger, which gives you two additional items of whatever you're trying to produce. So, like if you're
Mm.
making a plank, you have a 10% chance of getting 3 planks instead of one,
Wow.
and
Okay.
it doesn't cost you any extra resources,
And it reduces your time.
and it halves the production time, and you also have a 5% chance for them to craft instantly. And I've actually had it happen where the 5% instant craft and the 2% and the two bonus ones hit at the same time.
Nice.
So, I mean, like it's one of the things. It's it's very much more expensive to do it this way.
Yeah.
But like early on when I was making stuff, I had the furnace where you build the ingots. Like I had that trigger twice on gold ingots. So I
Mm.
got 4 extra gold ingots for free, and it basically paid for the cost of the plots.
So is that only for high tech plots then?
Yes, it's only for high tech plots, and I think the Trinity plots do it too. The high
Mm,
tech and the
okay.
Trinity plots both do it. The If you do it on an awesome plot, you have a 5% chance for one item and a 25% reduction. But the
Oh,
problem, I mean, like the problem is like if you look at what these things cost to build, I mean, like a windmill is 7 planks, so that's like 21 wood, and then 4 slabs, which is like what 12 stone plus 4 charcoal, which is 8 more wood, and then iron ingots, which is 2 iron ingots, which is 6 iron and 2 more charcoal, and then a gold ingot, which is, I mean, like, it's just they cost so many resources to build that it's just
yeah.
it doesn't strike me as cost effective to build them on anything except the high tech plots,
Wow.
because I mean, and the thing is, if you if you build it if you build it on anything but a high tech plot, it also basically works half as fast. So it's like if you build it on a high tech plot, the time bonus alone means your windmill is worth 2 windmills.
Yeah, because you could just keep producing stuff.
Yeah, and like one thing that I've done as like basically just an offer is I posted in the Discord that anyone that needs ingots, if they just trade me the cost to build an ingot, I'll give them the ingots, and then I will build them resources. And 1 in 10 times, I get rewarded with 2 bonus whatevers.
Mm,
And
okay.
so it's like, it's one of those things, like it's a mutually beneficial arrangement,
Yeah.
because and it keeps me building ingots, and so I just build ingots and
You get
plank.
the bonuses, they get to save time.
Yeah, and I mean, like it's one of those things, like it's not really a bad deal if you think about it, because
Mhm.
they'd just
Now
be sitting there anyway, not building anything.
now you need to buy do you need to buy or open the blueprints for all of these equipment?
What do you mean?
So, I guess
Let me go back. What are you talking about now?
so for, like, equipment, so in order to build those first 3 or any, you need to go and buy, like, a furnace, a kiln, and a sawmill, right? You
Oh
need
yeah,
to have
you
each of
need to have them,
those and just
but they're
just just
they're
one.
they're rare. So if you look here in my inventory, 28 furnaces. They're cheap
Yeah, yeah, no,
in the
they're
market.
they're like 1 hive, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, like they're
Okay,
they're very easy to acquire.
okay.
The main issue is that it costs the resources. 10 wood, 10 stone, 3 copper, 2 iron. Also, I don't know if you've run into you're going to run into this when you start building. Iron is your bottleneck, not gold.
Mm,
Iron is
okay.
the worst. I mean,
Oh,
it
man.
is just terrible, because if you look, it's like everything it requires 3 iron to get an ingot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And like note the prices. Iron ingots are 30, gold are 31.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a big
it's
bottleneck
like,
there.
and I'm like, because I like for the purposes of building, iron is what stopped me from building stuff. It's
Y
running out of iron.
it makes me wonder if like, 'cause there's gonna be different ways to play the game, right? So, if I was to just go for crop power, like CU and
Mhm.
Lum, and just try to maximize or min-max my crop power without trying to focus on building stuff, then there's other ways to benefit from the economy and benefit the economy by being the iron supplier in many ways.
Yeah. Well, like I think like what I've done, and I kind of I kind of fall down rabbit holes randomly in games where I overdo things, and I know I do this. So what I did was I built 2 sawmills, 3 kilns, 2 sawmills, 3 furnaces, and 4 kilns, all on high tech. plots, and it
Okay.
was painful. But it's like it also lets you crank through stuff.
Yeah.
And so because I was getting a lot of resources because of the events, because I took all my candy and bought chests and loaded up on resources that way.
Hmm.
And then I started building the resources and just sort of cranking through them. Event wise, building resources is pretty good because they're one of the highest paying things that pay off in candy. And so
Yeah.
like you get, and you also, if you hit a bonus, like say the bonus triggers and you get 3 charcoal,
Hmm.
you get credit for all 3 charcoal for candies. It counts like you built 3 of them
Oh wow.
instead of
Okay.
like you built just one.
So,
But
go ahead.
no, that was it.
So after you build those three buildings, do you want me to share my screen again?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, let's do that. So after you build those three buildings, let's go back here to construction. You can start building the not raw materials, but like or
Yeah,
use the others to
yeah.
start building everything
The
else. Okay.
sawmill builds the wood planks. The kiln builds the charcoal and stone slabs, and then the furnace builds the ingots. But the furnace also burns charcoal.
Furnace also burns charcoal.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh,
So
okay.
like every ingot costs you a charcoal, and it takes 2 wood to make a charcoal
So
in the kiln.
now that we're here, you were talking about the fridges earlier and saying that
Oh, oh yes,
it's a
I
good
hate
idea or
the
not a good
fridge.
idea for
Yeah.
people to be using these.
Well, it's not necessarily that it's a good or a bad idea. It's just that they're okay. The problem with the fridge is like say you build say you're using your windmill, right? And you want to make some flour. You can get 3-star flour by using 3-star wheat. You can get 100 you can have 100% chance of 3-star flour if you use 2 3-star wheats. I think is what it is, right?
Okay.
But the fridge doesn't require any input. The fridge just you basically hit a button and it makes ice, and you're stuck with the raw percentages of like 90 10 and or what is it, 90 10 and 1
Yeah.
or 90
The
89
the
10 and
three-star
1.
ice is the bottleneck there.
Yeah. And like I haven't seen a 3-star ice. And I did the problem is like the fridge is also slow. So even if you have a fridge built on a high tech plot, which I did, which was probably one of my mistakes, it's like 36 hours for a 1% chance to get a 3-star ice. And I figured it out. You'd see an ice like every couple of months. You'd see a 3-star ice like every, I don't know the math. I forgot what the math was, but I figured it out. It's like if you built 10 of them, you'd see, if you built 10, if you built 10 of them on high tech plots, you'd see a 3-star ice like every 2 months or something like that.
So
If you ran them all the time.
how do you make the ice, or does the ice automatically generate when you have a fridge?
Well, let me actually I can show you. How do I switch just to my screen
I
again?
I got it. There we go.
Okay. If you go over here and you go to crafting, like in here, this is your crafting menu with the stuff you can craft, right?
Hmm.
And like for sugar, like say you want to craft some sugar, you need 2 beetroot, and it'll give you sugar. And so right now I have selected 1-star beetroots or 1-star ingredients, and you can select 1 and 2 and 3-star
Yeah.
ingredients. And one of the perks, actually another random perk for using the high tech lands, the legendary lands, is it doesn't use gas at all, and so
Wow.
you can
Yeah.
just ignore your gas.
So you can buy gas from the shop, but you can also get that
Yeah,
in. Yeah, okay.
in the chest you get like 5 and 10 and 20s, I think, of gas.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, but
How much gas is that going to require? Oh, you have a high tech plot, right? So
yeah,
no
it
gas.
requires. I think I just figured I wasn't going to deal with gas at all, so I just ignored it.
Yeah.
But if you want to, like, the ice is a special item, and
Hmm.
so all you do is you just tell your fridge to make some ice and hit submit. And like currently, I'm crafting ice, oil, ketchup, blueberry wine, flour, wild honey. That's another thing. Ice and wild honey don't require any inputs, any ingredients.
Mhm.
So if you have a beehive, you can just if you have a beehive and none of the flowers to make special honey, you can just have it make normal honey.
Oh,
And then
that's kinda nice, because then that'll just create stuff that, because you could also sell the ice for shares, can't you?
yes, yes, you can share. As far as I've seen, it does sell for shares
You can sell pretty
because
much
well,
anything for shares, yeah.
yeah, either that or I accidentally sold them for nothing when I wiped out all my 1-star stuff. But like
Yeah.
you know, and when you well, let me claim this, and I'll show you the so like after you um you can well I'll show you the actual selection process where you make the stuff, assuming we just patiently wait for this thing to do its deal.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, it takes a while for me too.
so here we go. You saw it, the beehive triggered. You got
Mhm.
one normal honey and then two bonus honeys, and
Oh, wow,
same thing
nice.
with the wine. You got a bonus wine there. So I mean, it's one of those things like it's my big argument for why you want to use the high tech plots is it's not a massive bonus, but it's like a constant ongoing bonus that just pays long term dividends. Where you're just 10% better than
Mhm.
Well, actually, no, that's not exactly right, is it? If
I
it's
mean, it's
ten
actually
percent
it
immediate
feels
improvement,
feels more than 10% better.
yeah, it feels like more than 10% to me too. Okay, but like let me show you the crafting thing. Let me refresh this real quick. And okay, so like I have one windmill, and I have if you click here, it'll show you like right now I have zero beetroot. I have zero 1-star beetroot, zero 2-star beetroot, and zero 3-star beetroot because beetroot is growing right now.
Mhm.
And so, but like with paprika, for example, like let's say you wanted to make some paprika. I have no 3-star peppers, so it shows right here the hot pepper, but I have some 2-star pepper, so I could make 2-star paprika if I wanted to.
Got it.
And if you wanted to craft this, my blender might be already occupied. Oh no, it's not. So why is it not let me do that? Uh,
Oh, this is beetroot, but
oh, I'm back to beetroot. Hold on. Yeah, good call. All right, so let's see. So if you review craft, it'll show you your chances. Like with 2-star, I have a 90% chance to get 2-star and a 10% chance to get 3-star.
mhm.
And there are different weird multipliers that go into this when you have multiple ingredients. I'm not going to craft the hot peppers because I think hot peppers are better spent down here with the pickles for right
Do you
now.
know how much gas currently costs? Like, for something like that?
Uh, I can tell you, I believe.
Well, sorry, not from the shop, but, like, how much gas would that cost if you needed
Oh,
to.
it depends upon the land, I believe.
Okay.
I think the way it works is it's like maybe I have no idea the numbers, but it's like just pretend it's like 5 if it's on an awesome and 20 if it's on a
Mhm.
fertile and 30 if it's on a common one. It's sort of
Got
it's
it,
more
okay.
expensive the cheaper the land you get. But
Got it, okay.
yeah, I think it
I'm just trying to
feels.
figure. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it feels like you're just kind of like wasting money, not going for the best build because of well, for example, the windmill blueprints are like 250 to 300 hive.
Oh,
So
wow, really? Whoa,
yeah,
okay.
I mean like it's a massive investment,
Yeah.
and so if you figure you're spending like let's say you spend 300 hive to buy a windmill blueprint, you can get a high tech plot for 80 right now, and that's overpriced. Like high tech
Mhm.
plots used to be between 28 and 40, and so
Yeah,
but
I
even at
I
double
was
the
just looking
price,
at that. 80 is a lot,
yeah, 80 is a
so.
lot. But the thing is, I mean, it's if you look at the fact that well, like to build
And you can only build one thing, right? You can't swap it out later on a
once
high-tech
you
plot?
yeah once you what happens is once you build the thing, it burns the blueprint and the high tech plot, and you get a new card. You get a I'll show you.
You mean
You
it burns a
get
high-tech land, right?
no, it burns a high tech plot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what happens is like the if you have a high tech land,
Mhm.
if you have a high tech land, you can split it into 4 high tech plots, and
Oh,
each of those
got it.
plots you're allowed to build a tree or an equipment on. And so like what happens
Ah,
is like
okay.
when you build a windmill, it it burns a high tech plot and it burns your blueprint, and you get a new card that looks like this one.
Ah, okay. So no wonder the plots are going for significantly cheaper because
Yeah.
they're only like half or one third or one fourth of the original land.
Yes.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Correct. And I'm like
That makes
that.
sense.
That actually that it also kind of. I mean, you can kind of tell where, like, if you needed high tech plots right now, it's more cost effective if you just look at the lands. Let me get a market. I'll show you. If
To
you look
just
at the
buy land and
lands,
split it and convert it.
yeah, just buy lands and split it yourself. Because I mean, like,
I-
there's no delay to split it either. It's an instantaneous thing.
Is there a cost? Yeah, it's like
Yep.
yeah. Well, it's less than four times the amount. So
All you do is you go to construction and you go to convert to plots, and you select your high tech plot, and it'll split it 4-to-1 with no delay. And you just select it and hit craft, and poof, you get your plots.
fascinating. Wow.
One thing
Okay.
is, one thing is it has to be empty. You can't have anything
Yeah.
planted in
Okay.
it,
Makes
which
sense.
is actually kind of a good safety precaution. But like back here with this stuff, like for ketchup, where you have 2 tomatoes and 1 salt, you can
Hmm.
choose to you get your percentages a little bit differently. You get your percentages a little different. Like let's see, I have no, do I have no tomatoes? Okay, here we go. I have some 1 star tomatoes and I have some 3 star salt. So if I go to review craft for if I go to review craft for this one, I get different percentages. It's like 82% for 1 star, 9% for 2 star, and 8% for 3 star,
Hmm.
because there's like a 3 star salt mixed into there. So,
Got it. Okay.
and oil is just hated.
Yeah,
Oil is
sunflower.
terrible. Yeah, oil is terrible. It's awful.
Well,
Flour.
okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I
No,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say what sucks about this because none of it is like there. None of these are tradable NFTs, right? So you need to get the sunflower yourself
Yeah.
and then convert it over.
Hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to trade the finished products, like, or the intermediary products. But like the problem
Is that on the roadmap?
I saw it mentioned in Discord by somebody. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's Script Kitty's plan, but he's mentioned like other stuff being tradable,
Okay.
and so I don't know for sure. It's one of those things. Actually, you might want to see if you can get him and interview him and ask him. See if you.
I I was trying to, and then things just didn't align, and then the holidays came up, and we just never reconnected. So, but he and I have been chatting recently, so I'm gonna see if I can get him back on. I think it'd be great.
It's like it'd be cool to get, because he's mentioned some stuff about his like longer term plans that he hasn't talked about, and
Hmm.
he has some exciting stuff in mind for.
He had like that. There was like a whole guild system and stuff coming that was on the
Oh,
roadmap,
there's
but it's not
there's a lot.
a
Like
lot more.
yeah, he actually in Discord, he was there was a talk in Discord, and he teased fishing at one point. And so,
That's
because I mean,
fun.
like, every game needs fishing,
Every game does. I mean, there
but
you go.
like,
You get the Bass Pro community in here then.
yeah, but like,
So, oh, go
this
ahead.
is the issue. Like the pickles, your entire
Um,
preserve barrel runs off oil and hot peppers, and every
mm.
single one of these recipes. And so it's just, I mean, like, it's like oil's the bottleneck, because oil's in other stuff too.
So I'm curious. You get the recipes for each of these. You make these
Hmm.
finished products. At this point in time, I'm assuming you just sell them for shares, right? And they opt to be higher, like higher percentage shares
Yeah,
than the raw
they
products, right?
actually, well, the what's happening right now, we don't have cooking yet. So
Okay.
I think what's going to happen is, like, if you look at pickles, are probably the best example of just something getting ridiculous, because like you can end up with like probably a 300 share pickle, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And from what I've seen, just from reading like the old beta notes, additional multipliers are going to come in for recipes. So I mean, like, I don't know how high it can go, but you can conceivably make really really high share things out of, you might be able to turn, say, 50 shares worth of oil, worth of a sunflower, some broccoli and salt, into like, you go through, like, say it goes through, it goes through the press, and then it goes through the barrel, and then you put it in the oven, and then you make your recipe, and you have something that's like worth 1,000 shares.
Wow.
So I think, I mean, it would take a while, but I think it's gonna sort of allow you a big multiplier and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know. I mean, like, I don't know how important that's going to be, but it's at least an activity.
Yeah. Well, so and we can start to wrap up here. I know we've been chatting for a bit, and I appreciate
Oh,
it.
actually, no problem. I did want to mention a couple of things before I forgot
Please go
about
ahead.
the actual event, because like the event has some interesting stuff in it that is really worth looking at. And like, for the next event, if people are on the fence about how to participate with the event,
Hmm.
it's very important they look at the numbers, because I know you mentioned it in one of your videos where you're talking about the naughty list and how the naughty list was a win situation.
Well, I mean, I paid, what is it, 5,000 crop, and
Yeah.
I've already come away with, I think, way more value than that. I mean, I haven't
Oh
done
yeah.
the
It
math,
was.
but I think it's significantly higher than that.
Oh yeah.
So,
It is like the first, the very first, like for the first 5 or 6 days, there were like those Maldives packs in it.
mhm.
As part of one of some of the prizes, and those were selling on Hive Engine for like $5 each, like
Oh
$5
wow.
worth of
Okay.
Hive. And so, I mean, like, I can tell you that in the first couple of days, my I ended up having to buy the crop off of Hive too, and I probably paid $6 for the $5, 5,000 Hive.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
much.
I think I got lucky and probably opened 4 or 5 of the Maldives packs, and
Hmm.
more than paid for everything else. And then with the presents and everything. But like the thing you got to watch, the thing you got to in the events is the percentage. Is the important part, because
Hmm.
in the Halloween event, when you got coffins, there was a 5% of a gold ticket, and I did the math on how many coffins it would take to get the big prizes like the cemetery or the jack o' lantern.
Hmm.
And my math told me there was no way on earth anything I could do was going to get me that many.
What's gonna get you that?
And
Yeah.
so I like basically wrote it off for the Christmas event, because you're getting 3 presents from the naughty list every day.
Hmm.
You should expect 90 presents, even if you get a slowdown and you only get presents over the month.
Hmm.
At a 20% chance, that's 12 gold tickets, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should
I think
expect
it was a
12 gold tickets.
25% chance, wasn't it? For
I think
for
it's
gold ticket?
I think it
Well,
was
either way, it was significantly higher than the
yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah, it was much higher, and I mean, like, it was much more manageable, because I mean, initially the Halloween, it was like 7 tickets for the land
Hmm.
and 5% chance. And I mean, like,
Barely
at the
barely
time,
anybody got it.
uh,
Yeah.
well, no, I mean, like, there were two cemetery jack o' lanterns that entire event, and the top guy got them. The top guy was the one who claimed them, because he aimed to do it.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And I'm like, but I mean, like, I know that at the time I was in like the top 20s, and I could not do it. I couldn't even come close to getting either one of them, burning everything.
Hmm.
And it wasn't cost effective to fail at getting that versus getting a lot of resources from the chests. Because
Hmm.
that's the other thing you got to figure out. That's the other thing you got to factor in, is like, how good are the gold chests versus how good are the reward chests versus the gold tickets,
Hmm.
and like, what do you need? The other thing is the raffle. The raffle is kind of, I'm interested in this raffle, and the
I've
reason
entered all my candy canes into it, so
yeah, I'm interested in the raffle for the math part more than anything else, because I wish we could see like how many tickets each person had, because we,
mhm.
we could figure out the percentages a lot better. Because like,
Well,
if
we can see the total tickets.
yeah, we can
So
see the total
actually no.
tickets. Like, we can see the total tickets, and we know that I think there's 115 people on the naughty list. So we know how many people are playing, and we know how many tickets there are. But the thing is, like, the way it works is once one of your tickets hits, it pulls all the rest of your tickets out of the pool until the block of 25 is done, and then
Oh,
it
I okay.
resets and puts everybody back, and then it does again. So conceivably, like say you had half the tickets, realistically you could expect to get one from each of the 14 and a half drawings. But the thing is, I'm
Hmm,
curious what the magic
okay.
number is where like your average you should get one from each one, but also it's the most cost effective. It's like is having 4% of the
Yeah.
tickets
Oh,
the magic
whoops. I
number?
was just trying to send my.
So I don't know. I think I find the math behind it interesting, and just trying to figure out
Interesting.
what
Yeah,
the
yeah.
right
No, I
spot is.
mean,
But I'm
so
interested in the
okay. Well,
raffle.
well. I no, I'm interested too. So I'm hoping I can get maybe one more. No, I don't think I have enough. I don't have enough, and I probably won't get up to 250 in the next couple of days. But I mean, I have 7 points out of the 1286, and there's like a 1 in 4 chance of getting something like something from here. So I'm hopeful that I can sneak in.
Well, another thing is you can boost your total if you want to dump like junk cards.
Oh,
You can increase
into
your point total. Yeah, you can increase your
oh
point
into
total
into here.
by dumping. I think there's going to be a lot of common beta recipes dumped into it. That's
Probably,
my thought.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Stuff that people don't need.
Yeah, because I think you need 15 of a common recipe to max it out. So beyond that,
Mhm.
you know, they're kind of worthless.
Yeah, well, at least with where the player base is at now.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. So, well, again, I really appreciate you walking me through this. I'm actually excited to get started. I was just looking at some of the resources that I had and trying to figure out what I want to do, but I think stuff for the future will be a good move, and now I know how to do it. Just
Okay.
to close things out,
No
I'm
problem,
curious,
man.
like what is your end game with this? I mean, it sounds like you're really enjoying it as a game, and like that. I view it as like a puzzle, right? There's a lot of, at least for
Yeah.
planting your seeds and
Oh yeah.
min-maxing that. But I love the way that you are also looking at this from like a very statistical or mathematical perspective, and being like, is it worth it? How much do I have to do X, Y, and Z? So like, what is your? Do you have an end game? Are you just enjoying it for what it is? Like, I'm just trying to get your perspective on decrops as a whole.
I think Decrops sort of falls in the same category of Rising Star, where they're both kind of like palette cleansers from Splinterlands.
Okay,
Where
fair enough.
because like I've been playing Splinterlands since the absolute worst time to get in, that October. Basically, like I
I
got
got
in
into it around
Splinterlands
that
at the
time, yeah.
highest high, and I've been riding it all the way down. And so,
Same.
but it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a break and it's something different to just think about. It's like
Yeah, I agree.
for Splinter, like as a weird tangent, but for Splinterlands, for this league, I'm seriously making a push for champion, because I want to be in champion. I want to be getting champion chests when the soulbound reward
Solo reward
cards
cards coming.
start dropping,
Yeah,
just to maximize that.
that makes
And
sense.
like rental prices are so cheap right now that, I mean, it's easy to
Makes sense
rent.
too.
Yeah, I mean, just because I forgot what it was. I rented like 300,000 collection power worth of actual good playable stuff to do my quests for like,
Hmm.
I don't know, 4,000 DEC or something. Just
Oh, that's
nothing.
not bad.
And like for two
Yeah.
for 2 days worth. And so, it's
Yeah,
like, and so I
that's
figure,
that's interesting. Yeah.
okay. But yeah, the main
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
I'm
know if I
I'm,
really
I'm
have it. I'll let you talk. Sorry.
I yeah. No, I'm sorry. We keep hitting that delay. Yeah. No, no. Please go ahead. Continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say that it's gonna. I'm actually finally excited about reward chests again, and yeah, being able to get like good cards from them with the soulbound stuff coming.
I agree 100%. It's going to be exciting, and the fact that nobody can just go to the market and buy these cards, you're going to have to be there. You're going to have to be working for them. I don't know how long it take people to, get their whatever, however many chests to max out for whatever league they play in. But ultimately, it's going to be exciting. Like every reward is going to be exciting because it's not going to be like, oh, did I get an SPS jackpot, or is it just another 1 cent card? you know,
Yeah.
It'll be something like, oh, I need X more of these in order to max them out. And all the cards look really good, so I'm excited about that.
I'm also really curious about like what the champion multiplier is going to be for the individual cards. Like, can you hit a chest that has like 6 summoners in it for one of your reward chests if you're in champion? I mean,
That
like
would be pretty
that's
impressive.
why I want to be in champion. I want to be able to maximize. Whatever the best is when this thing starts. I want to be able to get it. And
Yeah.
if it turns out it's not worth it, and if it turns out it's not worth it, I can just go back to sucking and fall back down into diamond and gold, and you know,
Hmm.
right now I'm stuck in gold 1. I'm at that wall where
Yeah.
I think everybody's a real person, and they're just brutalizing me. I need to string a weak bots.
There you go. We could all use some more bots to beat down on. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree with you. For the first time, it's going to be a race to actually play the game and acquire stuff rather than just people being able to come in and buy stuff
Hmm.
and max out. So there's going to be a period of time where some of these cards are going to be leveled up, and you're going to look at your opponent's deck and be like, wait, I don't know what they have because I'm not going to assume X, Y, or Z
Hmm.
card from the Soulbound rewards. So it should be
Oh
exciting in
yeah,
that sense by itself.
yeah. I'm also really excited to see the Gladius cards coming in. Like I'm like there's I have some
That should be
Gladius cards I
fun.
really like. Like what is it?
There's
The
some,
one from
yeah,
Life,
there's some good ones.
Captain Kate. Is it Captain
Yeah,
Kate? The
Captain
one that
Katie's
has
good.
Bloodlust and Bloodlust and Opportunity, I think.
Snipe Magic.
Snipe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Snipe Magic. I think Captain Katie is the one. Yeah, it's fun. There's the gladiator cards are going to be fun, and I think whether it's the gladiator rule sets, the tournaments, like getting them to be more prevalent in the game is going to be great. So. Cool, man.
Absolutely.
Well, this was actually awesome and incredibly helpful. I'm excited to jump in now and start at least crafting
Well,
the first couple of things or constructing the first couple of buildings since I have the resources for it. And yeah, man. Well, I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the
no problem. Oh, one thing. Don't forget to put your
please
affiliate link in the video.
put my do you want to put your affiliate link in the video?
No, I no, put yours in it. Like make sure an affiliate link is in the video. Like
I
because
think I
it's one of
have
those
one
things
there,
that
but
yeah,
well, thank
make
you.
sure it's there. Just to be sure. Because it's one of those things like it's 5% that's going to waste if you don't get it.
I appreciate that. Thanks. All right, we'll go ahead and end
Well, if you
this
have any questions or if
here.
I can help with anything else or whatever, just let me know.